If one of them died, you absolutely don't have to have your own business. They couldn't afford to buy a book. Then they go in their fucking 50,000 square foot home where they are afraid to go in the next room because they are alone there. If there was a belief I had to choose that brought me more success in life, and what success and how everybody on the internet defines it, we're gonna talk about in a minute, because it's not just money. If you can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's the point. If I could do it, you can do it. It's not up for debate. If I could go on and learn to sell to American consumers and go ahead and sell $30 million online from Serbia, where English is probably like my fifth language, then you can do it too. It's not up for debate. The fact that you're watching this video right now takes away all the yeah buts and what ifs from you and all of the excuses, because it's just about mastering a high value skill, and we're gonna touch that a bit in this video. But today I want to discuss how awful and how toxic the advice on the internet became, and how in order for you to even feel successful, you have to be freaking David Goggins. You have to run 150 miles in a scorching sun on 150 degrees outside, or you have to climb a fucking Mount Everest in flip-flops and underwear in order for you to be successful. You have to be CZ from Binance, have $80 billion on your bank account by the age of 25, and if you don't have that, then you're considered not to be successful. And going back to being successful, what's success? What is success? How do they define success? When I say they, I say I love them. I love people like Andrew Tate, like David Goggins, like Joe Rogan. I love them. But here's the problem. The success became only about money. No one's talking about the relationship with their parents, with the relationship with their kids, and if they have any, how are they doing, what kind of a father one of them is. I told more bedtime stories to my 3 boys than they watched fucking Hollywood movies. And for me, that's a massive success. And I still made to have extraordinary life, and I don't have my own business, and I don't see that as a problem. I have a high value skill, and I enjoy doing what I do, and I work from anywhere I want. I work from my bedroom, and I work from the beach, and it's fucking terrible to work from the beach though. It just doesn't work. It's too hot. The Wi-Fi is awful, so skip that. But you can choose, and you can still have all of that and still be a great dad and a great parent. And I have 10 friends who are like really good friends, and they don't give a fuck how big my bank account is. They're just friends from like 25 years ago. And the problem with all of those gurus that we are following and listening, and the things that they are teaching us and implying that that's success, is this is a sad story, but if one of them died, there would literally be like seriously like really sad people, probably like 2, maybe their mom and their brother, you know, and everybody else would be either sad because they have some business going on with them, or they would be just there for the networking event on the funeral, which is bonkers. And we are mindlessly following their advice. We are mindlessly trying to achieve what they are saying, and whenever we are not, I think one of my lights just got off. Whenever we are not doing that, it's like, I'm not successful. You know, this is not working. This is impossible. You have to have your own business. You absolutely don't have to have your own business. You have to have a high value skill that's worth it on the marketplace. And that's the key point. What marketplace values, not what you feel like this is my hobby. You know, it's irrelevant. And by high value skills, I'm gonna go briefly over those. It's like, be a good copywriter, be a good media buyer, be a good video editor, build funnels, build websites, be a great designer. That's high value skill. And then if you tell me, you know, I had people, wow, how do you become a copywriter? Well, you wouldn't believe, but you sit down and write. And I'm telling you this from the position where when I started, I had so much money in my bank account that when I find an audiobook somewhere online where it's free, then I had to transcribe that entire audiobook by hand in order to read it, because I couldn't afford to buy a book. So if you tell me that you're in a worse position than that, hats down to you. You can pick any of your life advantages and disadvantages, and you can interpret them however you want. If you are too wealthy, you can say, well, I didn't become successful because my parents were too wealthy. And if you're too poor, well, you can say my parents were too poor, and that's why I didn't become successful in any area of life. And again, we're talking about health, relationship, parentship, and then we're talking about money, and it's only one pillar of success. And people online have who are brainwashed us, where if you don't have your own business, you're not making $100,000 a month, you cannot live a successful life. And then they go in their fucking 50,000 square foot home where they are afraid to go in the next room because they are alone there. And then most of them are anxious, depressed, and all that stuff that they are not showing online. And then when you hear coaches that work with them, they are like, yeah, we've never met any of them that are like depressed or anxious. But then when we ask about their health, they're like, oh, I'm sick, like at least 2 weeks per quarter I'm in my bed, I cannot move. And that's something that's crazy. And then there's no one to hand them a cup of tea, and that's their success. Stop following that bullshit online. It's just ridiculous. Don't do it. You don't have to. You can follow your own thing. You owe it to yourself to have a kind of job where you choose who are you working with, and you're not paid some misery because that's how they can do it. And the reason why behind that is basically there are tens of thousands of you that can fulfill your job. And when you master high value skill, then there are no people that can do it like you can do it. And when you do that, then you're off to the races. There is really an easy way to master any high value skill. That's go about 100 days every single day. And let's say you want to be a copywriter. Go for 100 days and every day write 20-30 pages. Hand, good old pen and paper. Just write. Transcribe a book, transcribe a course, transcribe an audiobook, transcribe a video from YouTube. How do you become a great YouTube script writer? I mean, you go to a video that has over 200, 300, 400,000 views in the niche where you want to join the party, and then you start transcribing those videos by hand. And best way is to listen to the video and then start transcribing it. That's just a basic understanding of how do I become a good YouTuber. Go upload 100 videos on YouTube, then let's talk how to become a good YouTuber.